It's the black guy in the corner, but they'd rather see a on the corner. They say I'm stealing Nick's clips like I'm stealing Nick's chick, not knowing that I hit him first week for the lick. I said, Nick, I could post here while you post there. Let's run the ads up, then let's meet up over there.
And look, I think Tucker is well-meaning, but it's very clear that he is just from a different generation. And I would add a different socioeconomic class, because that changes things too. And that's not me throwing shade at him, but I could just speak from experience. As a young guy, working class, I could tell you that I'm obviously exceptional in some ways. I never drank. I never smoked weed, cigarettes, never fucked around or anything. I'm an anomaly. I'm an eccentric character. Everyone knows that. But I know everyone else that I know that came from the same strata, that came from LaGrange Park, that came from countryside, okay, that came from, these more middle class, working class neighborhoods in my generation, they're lost. And, porn is a problem. Weed is a problem. Motivation is a problem. This is a generation that, they hate the men. They hate the men. You're not allowed to be masculine. If you act like a real man, you are hated. And you're reminded of it constantly. And you're penalized. It's like HR departments, they're looking for people. If you act like a guy, oh, forget it. You're a fucking asshole, and you're fired, and you're the worst person ever. You're toxic. You're an abuser. He was emotionally abusive. He was a narcissist. You're on the T app. Does Tucker realize even what that is? And I don't say that to be ignorant. There's a generational divide. If you have dated a woman and it went south, there's an app where they will make a profile for you like a Wikipedia page, and all your ex-girlfriends, every girl you ever slept with, is going to be talking shit about you. No moderation. He's an abuser. He's a jerk. He did this. That's how it is. That's how bad it is. They'll record you. They'll screenshot your text and they'll air you out on TikTok and you'll go viral. They'll accuse you of rape. It happens more than you think. I was hanging out with a really good friend of mine recently, and the guy is successful. He's a millennial, super successful, super wealthy, really solid guy. And some girl told him, I will accuse you of rape if you don't give me $100,000. I'm not making that up. That's a real story. And that happens all the time. All the time. More than you would know. And that's just for openers. Forget about the rest of it, which is and this is not speaking from my experience, but from people I know, you'll have a lot of guys where even the ones that are traditional, they find a traditional woman, and the traditional woman is browbeating them, bossing them around, getting in their face, telling them what to do. The women don't work and they don't do the chores. The women don't work, they don't do the chores, they're bossy. And again, it's okay, so what exactly is the trade-off here? It's I'm the man and I have to work and I have to be strong and I gotta act like a man, but not too much like a man, not too much. And I gotta be a gentleman and I gotta bring home the bacon. But I also have to do the chores, but I also have to cook sometimes. But I also have to be your emotional support dog. I also have to listen to your pointless stories. And it's and Charlie Kirk is telling men, you come last. Don't spend money on yourself. You are not a priority. It's about your kids and your wife, and you're nothing. Really? What the hell? What kind of message is that? So we're telling young men, hey, listen up. Listen up, beta male. Oh, you're a little weak? Hey, fuck you. Go to the gym. Oh, you're complaining? Well, fuck you. Get a job. Oh, you're poor? Work harder. Oh, you think you could tell your wife what to do? A real man listens to her and sees her as an equal. Fuck you. Oh, and you make all the money and you do the chores? Well, guess where your paycheck is going? You better keep your wife happy. You want to spend money on yourself? Fuck you. You're not supposed to be happy. Oh, and you think your country's bad? Stop making excuses. Go fight and die in the Middle East. Oh, and you need to. And it's like, okay, so what guy is signing? Like, what? Like if an alien came down from outer space, they would think that men are like a slave class. They would think that the planet is an apartheid planet. There's a global government of women and it's an apartheid system and men are like an inferior species. And it's like slave. Like what young man is like, all right, sounds great. Sounds great. Can't wait for my life of procuring resources for my wife. I can't wait. Wow, I'm so excited for my life of never making funny jokes, never having fun, never doing anything for myself. My wife is fat. She doesn't blow me. I have to work really hard for a house that she runs. And the money's not for me, it's just for her. And my hopes and dreams are destroyed. And nothing is for me. Like, what? Who likes? That's not okay. That's not right. So, no, my message is patriarchy. And I disagree a little bit. Tucker was saying, like, happy wife, happy life. It's like my brother in Christ. What are we doing? Happy, he said it on, he didn't even say it as a joke. I was waiting for the punchline. He's like, happy wife, happy life. I'm like, is there really a shortage of that? I mean, that was like I'm like, is there really a deficit of men simping for their women? That's the problem we have? Like, what? Let me tell you how it is. I see on Twitter, every now and again, I see a picture go viral of some like brown guy, some like muscular brown guy with a mustache. And he's being photographed from outside his girlfriend's bedroom window. And he's on the street outside of his car with bags of goodies for the girlfriend. The girlfriend is in her bedroom on the second floor, taking pictures from outside her balcony, and he's on the ground outside. I brought you shoes. I brought you Chick-fil-A. I brought you stuff. Grinning like an idiot. You ever see this? And the caption says, may this type of love find me. And this is what women have become. What can you do for me? He didn't throw his card down when the bill came. He didn't buy an appetizer. Can you believe it? He never buys me random little gifts. And he doesn't know what I said I wanted this jewelry and he didn't know that I wanted it. And, you know, he tried to get the waitress's attention and she ignored him and that gave me the ick. And like, this is what I texted him that we were going to go on a date and he said he was really excited and I don't know, that gave me the ick. I told him I wasn't interested anymore. Like this is what it is. So men are doing elaborate proposals. They're doing scavenger hunts and, you know, our 51st dates, we're going to reenact all of them. And they're doing elaborate Valentine's Day gifts, anniversary gifts, birthday gifts, Christmas gifts. Paying for trips. They're not even getting laid. Then the women aren't even putting out. Women are on Seeking Arrangements. They're on OnlyFans. They got the blue page in the link tree. They're on Instagram with bikini pictures, and they have 500 Indian and Saudi Arabian men offering to give them $1,000 to go fuck them in Dubai. Like, and that's like kind of funny, but it's real. That happens. Women are having their boyfriends pay for them to go on vacation. The boyfriend takes a picture of her and she posts a picture of herself without the boyfriend on her Instagram. It's like, this is what's going on. So young men do not need to hear the message of like, we need to do more we need to make sure they're happy. And I'm the revolutionary guy. I'm like that guy in Nazi Germany who wouldn't salute Hitler. Big women are like Hitler. It's like we live in a totalitarian state and everyone has to say like, hail women. hail big woman, we have to like I pledge allegiance to my girlfriend. I pledge allegiance to my wife. And I will give her anniversary gifts and elaborate proposals. And to her mother, for which she stands, one household under her watchful eye. Like, this is the country. And I'm like that guy in the crowd that wouldn't salute Hitler. I'm like, do you ever see that picture where everybody's saluting Hitler and there's that one guy who's like, nah, that's me. No, I will not pledge allegiance to my girlfriend. I think she should pledge allegiance to me. My radical message is that, you know what women should do? Women should talk less, smile more. To borrow a phrase from my favorite musical. No, we're not going to go that far. We're not going to go that far. Women should talk less, smile more. They should be pleasant. Because, you know, a lot of these women, they say, Nick Fuentes hates women. I do not hate women. I hate. There's a huge difference, and everyone knows the difference. It's real, and everyone knows what it is. I don't hate women. I love women. I just hate these bitches, man. But I love the women. And here's the difference. Women are likable. They're nice. They're nice. They're pleasant. They smile. That's women. They're humble. And a bitch is like wearing a frog face all the time. Sarcastic. Bold. You know what you should do? Telling you their opinion. That's inappropriate. If a woman tells you that's inappropriate, stop talking to her immediately. If a woman ever tells you, is that appropriate? Like, dude, cut her off. Shut that shit down. But they don't understand. That's what we've been getting our whole lives. Men are born, and for 20 years, they just get a woman wagging their finger in their face. That's inappropriate. You know, you can't say that. You can't do that. And the men are totally cucked. The men are like, yes, dear. Where are the male role models that are going to say, I'm a beast, dude. I'm a man. You know, none of this like, married my best friend. She's my partner. Like, where are the guys like Trump? Where Trump is like, you have to treat him like shit. You have to treat him like shit. He said, he's on TV and he's like, we never fight because in the end, she always does exactly what I say. He goes, could you imagine me pushing a stroller down Fifth Avenue? I won't do it. Like, that's a boss. That's a boss right there. So anyway. Yeah, I disagreed with Tucker, but it's a generational, it's a generational divide. Maybe he got the last good wife. Now we have all these frumpy narcissists. Nothing more irritating.
All right, let's get right to it, man. This is why people rock with Nick, man. This is why. Nick is willing to have those uncomfortable conversations and speak truth, real, genuine truth to a lot of these situations. All right. It's obvious what's going on when it comes to men and women relationships. And Nick, he's giving me Kev Samuels vibes, right? He's giving me Kevin Samuels vibes. This has been a huge problem. And I didn't see in the interview Tucker say happy wife, happy life. But that mindset, in my opinion, has destroyed relationships for my generation and perhaps the younger generation. It has destroyed the dynamics between men and women, in my opinion. It didn't solve the problem. What it did was it just said, okay, give women whatever they want because they may be upset about how granddad treated grandma. So therefore they feel that they deserve every and anything the way that they want it, the way that feels good to them, and that they should run. This is what has happened to our relationships. This is what has happened. You got fathers are raising daughters. Think about this. Fathers are raising daughters to become women that they couldn't stand dating if that was somebody they were dating. Let me say that again. Fathers are raising daughters to be women, to be entitled women that they would not stand dating themselves. They spoil them, they give them everything, they teach them to be a princess, all these different things, that they deserve everything without giving much of anything. Now we live in a society where, I'll be honest, I feel as if I was doing the same things that, let me not personalize it. We live in a society where the things that men are doing right now, if they were doing these things, like, they would be appreciated a lot more generations before us. Men are not appreciated. All we do is celebrate Mother's Day. Father's Day gets no love. Even though a father, obviously, I'm not going to say is more important in the household, but there's a lot of studies that have come out that show how significant a father being in the household really is to the outcome and overall success of that child, girl or boy. So I just, Nick is keeping it real, bro. We're appreciating all this even from the standpoint that he's talked about. He was making the joke about he would be the guy, in the crowd of Hitler. I'm not saluting Hitler, like saluting big women. This has been a huge problem, more specifically in the Black community, if we're just being honest. A huge problem that we feel that we need to pander to people and make them feel comfortable about being severely unhealthy. We need to make you feel like, oh, you're beautiful the way that you are. No, it's not about a beauty thing. The reason why it's unhealthy. Don't you think that's the reason why Black people specifically, we struggle with heart disease, diabetes? And like I say all the time, when we talk about Black culture, we have to talk about American culture, because American culture has been infected as well. Compare the average size of a woman in America compared to an Asian woman. Compare the size. There's a reason. This is not just based on beauty standards. There's actually certain things behind this where if you work out and take care of your body and eat healthy, then you're not going to be obese. But then if you're the guy that speaks out on those things, you're the one that the women hate. You want to know why? Because they'll always find a pandering dude that will tell them that they're amazing just the way that they are. Just the way that you are. There's somebody for you. If somebody doesn't like the way that you look, or if somebody comments on your weight, you being obese, you know what? That's their fault. That's an insecurity with them. No, it's not. You're unhealthy. It's a bad look. It's destroying our culture. Now you're bringing kids up in that same type of environment because your unhealthy habits that made you obese now are going to impact that child. That's not right. And just from an overall relationship standpoint, a man, like what young kids, like when we look at this and we see that our generation can't afford to have a home, can't afford to live, we don't want to be in relationships, the dynamics between men and women are completely off. There's so much built up resentment. The women feel like they deserve the world with just being themselves, right? They deserve everything without necessarily, I'm just being real. And if you're different, if you're an anomaly, then I'm not talking about you. Don't take offense to it. But let's be real. Women feel that they're entitled to receive a certain value to them that they may not necessarily be giving back. He's spot on. Women are not taught from their fathers the things that their fathers would want in relationships. Like, hey, one of your roles and responsibilities and obligations is to please and satisfy your man sexually. If we're just being honest. Well, just like his role now, if he's not fulfilling his role, then obviously that can throw the dynamics of that off. But when a man is fulfilling his role, a woman still feels like, that's not my responsibility. We're seeing it over and over. And I want to be very clear. This is why I always blame the fathers, because the fathers, y'all know better. If you're raising the daughters, it's like me getting upset about a kid that can't squat 500 pounds, but they never worked out in their life. Like, I can't really get upset. Now I can get upset with you if it gets to a point where you're an adult and it's like, hey, you need to start working out. You need to start squatting. You need to start developing these habits. You can't just be using the excuse that, oh, my dad or my mom never taught me to work out. However, from a foundational point, the problem, in my opinion, is on these fathers not keeping it real with their daughters. Think about it from this standpoint. A lot of times when you think about a team working together, right? Guy and a girl, man and woman, husband and wife, right? Boyfriend, girlfriend, however you want to put it. A team working together requires accountability on both ends. Now, men, we're growing up in a society where it's very clear that we're held accountable. Nobody's scared to tell a man that they're ugly, that they're fat, that their breath stinks, or anything else, that they're broke. That they got a little, nobody's scared to tell a man that. But we do live in a society where people are scared to tell women certain things. But just getting back to the men. So men grow up receiving constructive criticism. More men play sports. So you're held accountable to your coaches and you're spoken to in a way where that constructive criticism can come in a variety of different ways and you have to deal with it. So throughout life, you're going to learn how to deal with constructive criticism, or at least it's going to come your way. It's going to come your way. Women, if a woman didn't play sports, she's probably never had a man, and I'm going to say hold her accountable, but in a relationship, both sides hold each other accountable, right? You're held accountable by your role. So let's not say that one side's holding each other accountable, because I don't want to trigger anybody and lose focus on the actual conversation. If you've never been held accountable in your life, you've never played sports, never had a coach, especially never been held accountable in a relationship with another man, right? Most of your teachers weren't men. So now you grow up and now you're in a team setting with your boyfriend, with your husband, and you have certain roles that you need to do in order to have the team have success. You're not used to that. And it's your fault if you don't change it. But I want to be clear from the foundational point, it's not your fault. There's not something inherently wrong with you. It's not anything like that. And this is not even blaming women. Like, this is like, yo, we have a problem. Let's figure it out. We have a problem. You know how in sports, it's if we're having a problem on defense, right? But regardless of the sport, we're having a problem on defense. Is it okay if we say, hey, we have a problem on defense? Or do we have to coddle everybody and say, hey, we have a problem with the team? No, the problem's not on offense. The problem's on defense. The offense is scoring. They're doing all right. The problem is the defense. Let's look, for the greater good of the team, put your ego to the side and let's address the defense. Oh, there's some issues on offense. Let's address those too. But the major problem, let's address this area right here. Or else what? Or else people are not going to get married. Or else people are going to continue to not have kids. So now we find ourselves in a position where it's like, how do we deal with this? Do we continue just the happy wife, happy life mindset and pass that on to the next generation and just tell them to deal with it? No, we got to address these things. And once again, this is why Nick is attracting a greater audience, a bigger audience, because even if you do not agree with everything that he's saying, you can appreciate the honesty, the transparency, and him willing to say things that a lot of other people are not willing to say. So I'm not going to talk your heads off for any longer. But hey, this is personal. It's personal for everybody. We should all take this personal because the overall goal should be for us to have loving relationships, happy relationships, purposeful relationships, successful relationships that are going to set great examples for the next generation and put them in the best possible position to succeed in a relationship. Because obviously, like we've all seen, relationships are very important to our overall success individually, with our significant other, and with humanity. All right. I happen to think that things are better when we're in healthy relationships. So in order to get to those healthy relationships, it's going to take some hard work. It's going to take some challenges that we need to overcome that may not be super comfortable for everybody, but it is what it is. All right. Let's solve the problem. We're not critiquing the person. We're critiquing the problem. On that note, I'll see y'all soon. Y'all know what it is. Like, subscribe, and do me a favor. Leave some feedback. I may be off. Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where my own individual experiences and biases may be creating some blind spots for me. All right. I'm open to hearing them out. Why? Because I just want to solve the problem. I don't care how we get there. I don't care how we get there. If there's blame on men, if there's blame on me, if there's blame on what, good. That means I have the power to actually play a role in solving it. I'll see y'all soon, man. Ew.
It's the black guy in the corner, but they'd rather see a nigga on the corner. They say I'm stealing Nick's clips like I'm stealing Nick's chick, not knowing that I hit him first week for the lick. I said, Nick, I could post here while you post there. Let's run the ads up, then let's meet up over there. Let's figure out a split that's honorable and fair. Tell me where you trying to take it. Bro, I'll meet you there. 1600 Penn, Wash, DC. Swear I saw the vision riding through the DMV. I envision prayers, but I could do VP. Hillbilly, L&G, fuck, I look like JD. Shout out my cheat code, Dave and Karen raised me. And my big bro, a nuclear family.
And they don't like that. Strong fathers in the crib, BLM for that. LBJ society created all that. Victimhood mentality, I can't embrace that. And everything they taught in school, assume it's all cap. Everything I said I'd be, I am that. Everything I said I'd be, I am that. Everything I said I'd be, I am that. Ain't no introduction, just some fun facts. In case you were wondering, I am that.
I know you heard me hit it 3 times for Dr. Umar. Shout out to Umar, man. We ain't kicking nobody when they down. And shout out to everybody that continues to show love, support, appreciating the message that I'm giving y'all along with the bro Nick's message. We gonna keep pushing, man. And shout out to the haters too, cause y'all in the comments heavy too. y'all the ones that gave me the inspiration to create this song. They kept saying like, who's the random black guy in the corner? I am.